matchup. Marion Pleasant Spartans versus Clear Fork Colts.
It's Christmas time in the Valley. The Clear Fork Colts looking for win number 2 in the MOAC. And the Marion Pleasant Spartans looking for their first win in conference play. We'll have our pregame and the opening tip coming up next.
Please do your part and upkeep our teams.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.Report.
James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, reaching the unreachable student, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. We offer relevant workshops for coaches and student athletes, and with virtual options available for all trainings, call today and schedule your first session. James One Incorporated, first in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Colt Corral here at Clear Fork High School, where the Colts are hosting the Spartans of Marion Pleasant. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins, and it's really that strange COVID season continues here in north central Ohio. It's 36 degrees outside, but tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 50s and rain.
And then Christmas Day was supposed to be in 18, 19 degrees, so that's normal Ohio. That's not COVID. That's just normal Ohio.
That is normal Ohio. Both these teams really trying to hit their stride in the MOAC. Clear Fork at 1-3 overall. They're 1-2 in conference play. Marion Pleasant, they're 2-6 overall. This is their 9th game of the season, but they're 0-3 in the Mid-Ohio Athletic Conference. These two have something in common. They both have a common opponent that they've lost to.
Yeah, River Valley is a very good basketball team. It's a conference opponent, a team that's returning five players from last year, I believe 5 starters from last year, and River Valley really put it to both teams. River Valley was able to beat Clear Fork 70-54, and then able to get Marion Pleasant 78-58. So, you know, at least they have River Valley out of the way. River Valley, Ontario, and Shelby, after Shelby's big win this weekend, or Sunday, I guess, over Lima Senior, have to be the 3 favorites, with maybe Shelby the favorite to win this conference.
Pleasant was defeated by Marion Harding 46-40 last Friday night, then lost to Shelby last night in a game that was rescheduled because of COVID. So do the Colts have a little bit of an advantage because it's really kind of a double weekend for the Pleasant Spartans?
Well, that's a question, because most years I would say, no, these are young kids. They're in great shape. They've been playing all summer. They've been playing all fall, whether it's another fall sport, whether it's basketball, and then preseason camp. But this year is different. They weren't able to play all summer. Who knows how much of a fall sports season they had. If it was not playing football or cross country, they might not have been able to get together as a basketball group and scrimmage. So this year, it could be a factor in this game.
And for Ben Snively, who is in his 8th season as the head coach of Pleasant, they've got 9. This will be their 9th game, but they're still looking for that elusive first victory in the conference.
And in talking with Coach, he talks about it's an inexperienced team, but they're a very prideful team. And when you think of Marion Pleasant, you think of success in a lot of sports. Certainly they're very successful in football. They have been successful in basketball. Expectations are always high there. They don't like, I'm sure, sitting there at 0-3 in the conference and 2-6. But it amazes me that you've been able to get in 8 games. And after tonight, they will be on schedule. Probably the only team that I can think of in our area that hasn't had to, well, they've had to cancel and make up, but that's on schedule at this time of year.
Clear Fork, this is only their 5th game of the season. They lost a heartbreaker at Ontario last Friday night, 47-39. And talking to Steve Bechtel before the ball game, 1 quarter, he says, did them in.
Well, and actually the last 2 games, they've had that same scenario. They played well for 3 quarters against a very good Ontario team, but in the 4th quarter they get outscored 19-2, and actually those 2 free throws are in the closing minute of the game. The game previous to that, Ashland, they play well for a half, but then they get outscored 41-19 in the second half. And what do those 2 games have in common? Both the opponents, Ontario puts a 3/4 court pressure on them. Ashland puts trapping pressure on them, speeds them up a little bit, gets the tempo out of Clear Fork's favor where they're uncomfortable and take advantage. And you can't afford to certainly have quarters where you score 2 points or halves when you give up 41 points.
We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Continue to serve our country and defend our freedoms. We invite you to stay in front of your hats and sing the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
We are back here at the Colt Corral where the Clear Fork Colts are getting ready to take on the Presidents of Marion Harding. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Spartans. The guards, C.J. Temple and Peyton Gosnell. The wings, Ralston and Austin Schaefer. And the center is Jake Williams for the Colts. The backcourt, Brady Tedrow, who had 14 points against Ontario, all of those in the first half. They held him scoreless after the half. The other guard is Luke Labaki, and he's joined in the backcourt by Jared Scott. The forwards are Ben Blueball and Merritt Bergholder. Merritt Bergholder, a 6'5 presence defensively in the middle, averages a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds per night. It'll be interesting to see how Pleasant matches up against him.
Yeah, and a continuity offense that Clear Fork likes to run is a high-low situation. So if they can get Merritt, who's likes to play in the perimeter, but in the ball screen roll continuity that they use, they'll have a high-low situation, and Merritt should have a advantage, size advantage inside.
Now, one player that Marion Pleasant will not have at their disposal tonight is their freshman. He's their leading scorer, Trey Booker. averages almost 14 points a night, which ranks him third in the conference. He also grabs 5.5 rebounds per ball game, and that's a lot for a freshman. He's out because of COVID. This will be the last game he misses.
And that's just too bad. I really was looking forward to seeing him play. And Coach Snively made the comment that he's not a normal freshman. He's a good body for a freshman. He, as you said, he's a rebounder. He'll mix it up inside, and he can score from the perimeter and also put the ball in the hole, or put the ball on the floor and get to the basket.
So now a lot of the scoring really falls into the hands of Jake Williams, who averages 11 points per game. That's fifth best in the conference. They also have guys that can distribute and make plays from the backcourt. C.J. Temple and Peyton Gosnell are two of the better guards in the MOAC.
Well, they're a group that has not been consistent scoring the basketball. 3 or 4 kids have the ability to shoot the perimeter three. They have the ability, as you said, to penetrate to the basket and break down the defense. But they haven't been able to do it consistently. But when you look at their scoring average, they're averaging 53 points a game. That's still 8 points better than what Clear Fork, which shows me that Clear Fork really wants the tempo slower, much more methodical, and Pleasant maybe wants to get up a little bit more.
Clear Fork is led in scoring by their senior Brady Tedrow, who scores 12 points per game, shoots a decent percentage from the floor at 41%, and he also averages about 2.5 assists per ball game. They also get 10 points per game from Luka Labaki and Merritt Bergholder. Bergholder, as I mentioned earlier, also the team and league's leading rebounder, grabbing 10 per game. So he gives them a solid defensive presence. And the one thing that Coach Bechtel was really concerned about when we talked to him was just that lack of an outside scoring threat.
And it seems to be not all 5 guys playing great on the same night. Blue Baugh, Scott, Tedrow, each scored 14 points against one of the better teams in our area, Ashland Arrows, here last week. But consistently, it's just not getting done. If they can put Blue Baugh, Labaki, Scott, Burkholder, Tedrow, all having a great night, and Riddle, everybody having a great night, well, then they're going to bring that average of 45 points a game up pretty quickly.
Well, we're just moments away from the opening tip-off here at the Colt Corral. Also tipping off tonight, if you're interested, the NBA, and it just seems like their postseason just ended, and now the regular season is going to start, and hopefully it finishes.
Well, you're exactly right. And it'll be interesting. I know tonight the Lakers and the Clippers are scheduled to play. It's kind of funny. They have the same home gym, but it'll be interesting to see how excited the Lakers are starting.
Well, the Colts control the opening tip. Try to get the ball inside to Bergholder. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Colts.
The little bit I've seen Marion Pleasant on film, they are very active with their hands. Job of denying passes, good job of ball pressure, and they will go after any loose basketball.
3 in the air by Brady Tedrow is no good. And here come the Spartans in transition.
Clear Fork starts out in a man-to-man. We'll see how patient Marion Pleasant wants to be. Again, I think they want the tempo a little bit higher than what Clear Fork does.
Ralston inside gets the first 2 points of the ball game for the Spartans.
And he went in right away against Merritt and challenged him. Went right to the chest, which if you're going against a big guy, you have to go right into the guy's chest, try to neutralize him a little bit so you can strong take the ball up to the rim. Here's the high ball screen that they like to do, the continuity. You see the high-low right now with Blue Baugh up top and Merritt down low.
Inside to Merritt. And the Colts so far in the early going, scoring a struggle here.
Which they have, but they had a good post entry. They're able to get the ball inside for a good look. They just obviously got to be able to knock that shot down.
Right-handed layup by Peyton Gosnell is good.
Marion Pleasant, if you pressure them too much, they will put the ball on the floor. Again, they're not great perimeter shooters, but like Clear Fork, they have the ability to shoot the three-point shot, but they will take the ball to the basket.
Taking the ball to the basket, a nice Move by Brady Tedrow, and Clear Fork finally on the board as they now cut the lead to 2, and Tedrow in transition is going to be fouled. He'll go to the line as C.J. Temple commits the personal.
And I think we talk about this every week. It seems like the teams that we have struggled in scoring. If you struggle in scoring and you can create some offense from your defense, as Clear Fork did right there, causing a turnover, getting a foul out of it, going to the free throw line, that really helps your offense quite a bit.
Tedrow makes the first one. He's a 78% free throw shooter on the season. There's a good look at Brady.
I think you mentioned in the pregame, but he had, 4 threes in the first quarter against Ontario, but only had 14 points in the game. All 14 in the first half.
All 14 in the first half, and Joe Baylog and his staff did a nice job of taking him out of the ball game in the second half.
Well, I know
contact and a foul there by Blue Ball.
I know in the Ontario game that Ontario went into the game concerned about Clear Fork's ability to dribble drive. So they played off of Clear Fork, and then that's when Tedrow and Clear Fork shot the ball so well from the perimeter. But again, when Ontario got out of that and decided to pressure the ball, that's when there were some problems.
Another turnover, and Clear Fork now with an opportunity to take the lead.
Here's the high-low. He'll come off the screen by Merritt.
Tedrow with the right hand, and Tedrow now with all 6 of Clear Fork's points. Nice pass inside. Offensive rebound doesn't go. They're going to call a jump ball. Let's take a look at the last basket by Tedrow, driving to his right. Tough shot off balance.
That was, and again, he went right into the body of the defense and able to muscle the ball in. You'll notice a contrast in offensive style here. Pleasant really wants to keep that lane open for dribble drives. Here they're able to get into the paint and put up a nice shot by Austin Schaefer, where Clear Fork is going to use a lot of high-low. They're going to go off ball screens and try to get the high-low, pound the ball inside.
Blue ball passes off, and let's see if this is going to count as he dumped the ball inside to Bergholder, and that basket will count.
That's a good job by Merritt. Again, we talked about this, especially for young people. So often when they get fouled, they're not concerned about finishing. Here, he got fouled, but he's concerned about taking the ball up strong and getting a three-point play out of it.
Now 9-6 in favor of the Colts. And Tedrow continues his hot hand here in the first quarter. He now has 8, and the lead is 5. Ball out of bounds, and this will go back to the Colts as they go to their bench. Wiley Smith, a freshman, checks into the ball game for the Spartans, along with number 33, Ethan Lichtenberger.
Now, he looks like a freshman. You know, he's going to get bigger and stronger before he becomes a senior. But he's a freshman right now, and how difficult that's got to be.
But Snively, obviously the first guard off the bench, so he has a lot of confidence in that freshman. Three in the air, no good, but an offensive rebound doesn't fall as well, and the freshman gets in there, mixes it up, grabs the rebound, and it's going to be a foul called. This will go against Ben Blueball, who doesn't like the call. That's his second.
You know, I know in the pregame, Brian, you made the comment, you know, what kind of legs is Marion Pleasant going to have playing 3 games in 5 days? Well, that might be why Coach Bechtel is going to that pressure. Well, now he's taking it off, but he was putting some half-court pressure, some trapping. I don't know how much of in the DNA of Clear Fork that is, but it was certainly very effective early, probably testing out and seeing what kind of legs Marion Pleasant has.
I said that was the second foul on blue ball. That was his first. 3 in the air, no good by Lichtenberger. Try to dump it down inside to Caden Riddle, and the ball goes out of bounds. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Colts with a 5-point lead.
And that was the high-low that they want to look at. That is, if I'm keeping it correctly, Clear Fork's first turnover. That's a good sign. If you can get through a quarter with 1-2 turnovers, you've had a good quarter. Here's a little flex by Marion Pleasant right now, looking for the flex cutter.
Tell you what, with the emphasis on the perimeter game, you don't see a lot of the flex offense anymore.
No, you don't. It was so effective for years, people found a way to defend it. Ooh.
And Tedrow at the other end.
And he might have gotten fouled on that.
Tedrow now with 10, 2:31 to go in the opening quarter, and the Colts with a 7-point lead. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins at the Colt Corral as they look for win number 2 in the MOAC and win number 2 overall. They split their series with Marion Pleasant a year ago. Clear Fork defeated the Spartans 80-46 back in December. And then Pleasant down the Colts 50-37 on January 31st. So you see Tedrow with points number 9 and 10. And you also, here's another throwback, a coach that's wearing a shirt and tie.
Yeah, at all levels this year. You don't see that in college. It'll be interesting to see what is going on in the pros. The NBA had a rule where you had to wear a coat and tie. We'll see if they get rid of that for tonight. But back to last year's games. When you told me that in pregame, I was surprised by the point differential of each game. Now, if one team wins by 1 or 2, I could see the other team coming back a month later and winning. But here it is, 15, 20-point difference in one game and then 15 points the next? I mean, that's...
Well, 34.
34
Clear Fork
points.
beat them by 34, and then Pleasant came back and beat them by 13.
That's pretty good adjustments Marion Pleasant did.
Well, and you also look at the low-scoring affair. So obviously it was a game where the Colts offense really struggled to put points on the scoreboard. Ball out of bounds, and Clear Fork will take possession, trying to add to a 7-point lead.
That was turnover number 6 for Marion Pleasant. And again, that's tough to have a good quarter when you have 6 turnovers.
Nice up and under. And Caden Riddle, the sophomore.
That was a nice up and under. And again, Clear Fork doing a great job of getting the ball into the post area.
Kind of, I think that was a shot.
Yeah, I think as he went up, he changed his mind and wanted to pass, but then that's all he had was a shot.
Colts in transition. And Jared Scott with his first bucket of the night.
Again, creating a little offense from your defense.
Colts looking really sharp at both ends of the floor here in the opening quarter. This is what Coach Bechtel talked about. They look good for most of their games, 3 of the 4 quarters. It's putting together a solid 4-quarter effort. Here you take a look at that last layup in transition. And I tell you what, I think Coach Bechtel will be very pleased with a 20 spot here in the first quarter for the way this offense has been struggling.
I think you're right, but I think he'll be more pleased, as you said, if they can consistently keep it at 15 and above each quarter.
The one thing they have not done this quarter is shoot the ball well from the perimeter. Everything has been layups or drives to the basket.
Well,
and just as I say that, a 3 in the air, no good, but an offensive rebound. It's out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Spartans. There you see the ball knocked out of bounds just off the foot of Caden Riddle.
But Caden did a great job of, from the high post area, crashing the boards, grabbing it, and maybe he had a couple of hands on him, but took it up strong, but not able to convert. Good ball pressure by Clear Fork right now.
And I tell you, I like the confidence that Wiley Smith plays when he's handling the basketball.
That makes all the difference in the world. If you're a point guard, you got to be like a quarterback. You've got to let things go off your back, and if you make a mistake, just keep doing what you can do.
Austin Schaefer with the jumper at the other end, making a 9-point game, and the Colts will wind this down and take the last shot in the opening quarter.
It looks like they're going to go with their high post screen.
3 in the air, no good by Merritt Burkholder. And the Spartans able to push it in transition. And right at the end of the quarter, Peyton Gosnell with a layup. It's 17-10 Spartans as we head to the second. You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
James 1 Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. Call today and schedule your first session. First in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.Report.
Well, they're used to hearing this in the Valley. The Colts up by a touchdown as we start the second quarter.
And a great quarter for Clear Fork right there. They forced 7 turnovers, and I would bet 3 out of those turnovers they were able to convert into easy layups, again, which always helps your offense.
And just like last week against Ontario, they get a hot start from Brady Tedrow as he has 10 points, and now a 3 in the air and good by Jared Scott. That pushes it out to a 10-point lead. They can get consistent offense from someone other than Tedrow. 3 in the air, misfired by Gosnell.
And they have players that are have the ability. Luke Labaki, I know, is a very good basketball player. He has the ability to be a scorer on any given night. Jared Scott obviously can. Merritt can. So they have the players that can do it. It's a matter of putting it all together.
Another 3 in the air and no good. Little push after the shot, but no call. Spartans in transition. And C.J. Temple with his first bucket of the night.
And that's a great blow-by from the top. It's hard to give help when you get penetration from the high spot, from the top of the key. Here's a blow-by with his left hand. Again, tough to give help when you have a blow-by from the top of the key.
Does a nice job of keeping his body between the ball and the defender. Merritt Burkholder now back in the lineup.
Brian, I like the flow of this game now with 3 fouls on Marion Pleasant, 2 on Clear Fork. They're letting the kids play. But, hey, we've got 2 schools that always have great strength programs. They're big, strong kids. We'll let them play a little bit.
Burkholder kicks it out. Tedrow for 3. And another offensive rebound. And Burkholder is hammered, and he'll go to the line.
Now, let me tell you, Merritt did a great job. They fed him at the high post. He kept the ball high. He pivoted, found the open player for the shot, and then he just didn't celebrate. He went in, crashed the boards, and able to get an offensive rebound and get fouled.
Burkholder at the line with 3, and he misfires on the first one. Burkholder, a 6'5" senior, averages a double-double. I asked Coach Bechtel before the game, late in the game, you need a shot from the perimeter. I said, who do you want? And he kind of smiled. He says, Burkholder.
Oh, that's
Burkholder misses the pair.
just not from the free throw line.
Yeah. Another turnover by the Spartans. And Jared Scott at the other end converts. And this could get out of control if the Spartans don't take better care of the basketball.
And Clear Fork is doing a great job with their half-court pressure.
Three in the air short, but an offensive rebound keeps the possession alive for Marion Pleasant. Ball tipped out of bounds by Labaki, who's active defensively.
Here comes the trap by Clear Fork. Good job getting the loose ball, active hands, and again, creating a little bit of offense from their defense.
Now back to live action here as the Spartans get a jumper from the elbow, and that is good. The first bucket of the night for Jake Williams, the 6'3 junior. Clear Fork doing an outstanding job of keeping possessions alive with offensive rebounds. We're going to have a foul here on the second one.
Fouls on number 35, Jared Scott.
Foul's going to be called on Scott.
It'll be interesting at halftime what Coach Bechtel talks about. That was a wide open shot by Clear Fork. But again, I'm not sure what kind of tempo, if Clear Fork wants that faster tempo. But also, they're dominating inside. So do you want your first look if it's open outside to take it, or do you want to pound it inside first and see what you get?
Missed by Gosnell, but he's going to be fouled and he'll go to the line.
They got Luke Labaki for bodying up on the shooter a little bit inside.
Lid now on both baskets as far as free throw shooting is concerned.
And that's never good. It's amazing how teams struggle these days from the free throw line. But again, with COVID, you don't have as much time in the gym. Maybe you have an excuse this year.
It's now a 7-point ball game. A short baseline jumper up and in by Merritt Bergholder.
I think Marion went to a zone that time, and Merritt popped out to a little bit further out than the short corner for a jump shot.
Long three in the air, good by the freshman, Wiley Smith.
Now, it's one thing in common. Each game we've had, it seems like there's freshmen that are playing, and most of them are about that size, but they can shoot the basketball.
Little elbow jumper, and the offense is now on fire on both sides. Ben Bluebaugh with his first bucket of the night. Pushing the lead back to 8.
Good help inside.
Going to call the foul on Ben Bluebaugh. Looked like he's going to get away with the trip there for a second, then a late whistle, and he didn't like the call anyway.
You can see where Marion Pleasant is again, spreading the court a little bit, trying to stay out of the lane, using it for dribble drives. Clear Fork is doing a good job of helping. Right here before the foul, it looked like they were going to kick to a shooter in the corner. For Marion Pleasant to get those helpers out of the lane, they're going to need to knock down some of these threes.
Offensive rebound keeps the possession alive. Another three in the air by the freshman. This one rims out.
But it looked a good shot. Great form. Looked like he had confidence.
And Snively has to be very pleased with what he gets out of that freshman, and it'll be interesting to see how he grows and develops over the next couple of years.
They obviously have two good freshmen. The one that's not playing tonight, that is their leading scorer.
Yeah.
And then and this one.
And third in the conference.
Unfortunately, now he's stuck inside.
Well, we found one thing he can't do. He can't guard post players.
But he did take the charge, did a great job of selling it.
Coach Bechtel did not like that call at all. Now watch there's the freshman. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of everything here.
Yeah, well, he knew that there was no way no way he was going to stop Caden Riddle inside. So he just put his body into him. And
all 5'3" of him.
Yeah, took all 5'3" into him and took the charge.
Oh, jumper misfired, ball batted away, and still a lot of offensive rebounds here on both sides.
And as soon as I said I love the flow of the game with 2 fouls on each team, now maybe the kids are getting a little bit tired and the whistle's blowing a little bit more.
Caden Riddle with his second foul. Riddle, a sophomore.
At the line, shoot 2.
Bo Dornbreyer comes back into the ball game.
If he can knock down these 2 free throws with 3 minutes to go in the half, they're back to within 6 points.
And Dornbreyer is a freshman. Gosnell with his second free throw attempt. He's 2 for 3 from the line here in the first half.
Well, we're back to a 2-possession game. Now if you're Marion Pleasant, you're talking about getting a stop. Get 1 stop right now, or we like to call it a kill, where you can get 3 consecutive stops. Right now you want to get a kill. Get 3 stops, go into the half with a little momentum. See, they
wide open 3. And 2 wide open.
Yeah, it was. And you can see where the defense was giving up that shot. They were playing off, trying to help in the post. Clear Fork doing a good job on the ball right here. You can see where Marion Pleasant does want to dribble penetrate.
Tough shot off balance. Dornbreyer with the rebound. And Tedrow will slow it up as we approach the 2-minute mark of the half. Another missed perimeter shot by the Colts. That missed by Labaki.
And I know Luke is very capable of hitting that.
Tedrow from about 8 feet. And Brady Tedrow is capable of hitting that shot.
No question. And again, creating a little bit of offense from your defense, getting the turnover, getting a great look by a good player.
Talked about that kill. Marion Pleasant unable to get that stop, and the Colts take advantage and push the lead back to 8.
And so many teams will track kills during a game. They'll have a number of, we want to get 5, 6 kills, which would be pretty darn good. Clear Fork's on the verge of getting a kill here.
Push the ball up, and a very tough shot in transition for Jared Scott, who's heating up in the second quarter.
And again, it's off a turnover. Turnover number 10 for Marion Pleasant this half.
And that pushes the lead back to 10 with a minute to go before halftime.
And just a minute ago, it was a 6-point lead and the ball for Marion Pleasant.
That's what you call breaking somebody's ankles.
That was a good ball fake.
Now a 7-point game, 3 in the air, and that's off the top of the iron. There you see him, wide open look. And the 3 good by Ethan Lichtenberger.
And according to Coach Snively, he'll have 4, sometimes 5 guys out there in the court that at times can shoot the ball well. It's just they have not done it consistently. That time it looked like he shot with a lot of confidence. See how they're opening up the lane, trying to get some dribble drives into the lane. Now I think they'll probably hold for the last shot of the quarter. And what I would assume when it gets down under 10, they'll probably, I would think they'll look for a dribble drive and maybe a kick for a shot.
Well, considering how Clear Fork started this ball game, if the Spartans can go into the halftime down 5 or down by 4, that would be a very solid second quarter. Misfire, an offensive rebound doesn't go, and that is going to do it. The Colts with a 7-point lead as we head to the intermission. You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.Report.
James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, reaching the unreachable student, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. We offer relevant workshops for coaches and student athletes, and with virtual options available for all trainings, call today and schedule your first session. James One Incorporated, first in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game.
Thank you.
It's halftime here at the Colt Corral, and Clear Fork with a 7-point lead, 30-23, as we take a look at the rest of our holiday schedule. Games that you can see here on the OH.Report. Worthington at Centerburg. That's a boys game that'll be played tomorrow. Tip-off at 7:30. Monroeville is at Crestview. That's another boys matchup tomorrow. And Ontario taking on Clear Fork here at the Corral. That is girls action scheduled here on the OH.Report. We'll be back to take a look at the halftime stats of our game here tonight, right after this. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from the Corral here at Clear Fork. A 30-23 ball game. The Colts with the lead over the Spartans. As we take a look at the halftime numbers, the Clear Fork Colts, especially in that first quarter, came out firing offensively. 12 field goals to only 6 for the Spartans. neither team really doing much damage from beyond the arc. Clear Fork with 1-3 and Marion Pleasant with 2. From the free throw line, the Colts 3 for 5 and the Spartans 3 for 4. Rebounding edge goes to Marion Pleasant. A lot of those at the offensive end, and probably the stat of the half, turnovers 10-2 in favor of the Colts.
And Clear Fork was able to score off 3, 4, 5 of those turnovers, which is key. It's one thing to have a turnover. It's another if you have a turnover that leads to a run out, fast break, easy look, whether it's a layup or an easy kick out to a great shooter for a three-point shot. And Clear Fork was able to take advantage when Marion Pleasant turned over the basketball.
Now, if Marion Pleasant can make this a game in the second half, you see the team fouls. Clear Fork with 7, 3 of those for Ben Blueball, who really has not been a factor here in the first half. He had to go to the bench early. He's only got 2 points in the first half. Brady Tedrow, though, picked up the scoring slack. He's got 12 points. He leads all scorers. Jared Scott with 9. And for the Spartans, Peyton Godson with 7. And he leads Marion Pleasant in scoring here at the intermission. So they need to find, I think they really need to do 2 things. 1, they need to find some offense. And 2, they need to take better care of the basketball.
Well, there's no question. And only down 7 points. It could have been worse. The lead was at 10, and it looked like Clear Fork had all the momentum in the world at that time. So it could have been worse. But you're right. If they can take control of the basketball, they're playing hard, but if they can take care of the basketball, and if either team can start knocking down threes, Marion Pleasant could get in the game. Clear Fork, I think, could run away with the game if they can consistently knock down threes. Or is Clear Fork going to come back out and continue, as they did early, pounding the ball inside?
Tonight's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you live and free on the OH Report thanks to our generous sponsors, James One Incorporated, and our friend Effie James, offering workshops and professional development 100% online. Visit JamesOneIncorporated.com for more information. Also by Scout Construction LLC, now hiring skilled carpenters and painters. Contact Josh Mobley to apply at 419-989-7240. Tonight's instant replay, player of the game, and scoreboard are all presented by Clear Fit Nutrition, located in downtown Bellville, offering nutritious shakes daily beginning at 5:30 a.m. I am Brian Harter along with Gregg Collins, and we have got we talked about this earlier, and you look at the teams in the standings, a lot of things need to happen for them to make a move in the conference standings. Obviously, Ontario and Shelby are the teams to beat so far this year, but this is an important game for Clear Fork. If they win this, they still only are 2 losses back in the loss column.
And it's early for almost all teams. Again, Marion Pleasant, this is game number 9, so they're right on schedule. So, yeah, it's ultra important for them. For Clear Fork, they have a lot of games to go. But let me tell you, last Sunday, Shelby going to Lima Senior and beating Lima Senior is a big, big win. Lima Senior has lost a fair amount of players, but they reload. And they have come out already this year. They beat a very good Ashland team on the road, and they went down to Columbus and played Thomas Worthington, which is one of the better teams, Division I also, one of the better teams in the Central District with at least 2 Division I players, and took care of Worthington down there. So that was a big win for Shelby last week.
Okay, so now I'm going to put you on the spot, okay? Having said all that, and looking at a team, and you look at the standings, and this year, this is how bizarre this is. Marion Harding with only 2 games so far, but they're 2-0.
Right.
So it's really kind of hard to gauge where they are. Ontario, you know that they're good.
Right.
River Valley is off to a good start. They're 4-4 overall, but they're 3-1 in the conference. Who, in your mind, is the team to beat in this conference?
Well, there's no question. It's Shelby. Again, I think the only thing that will hold Shelby back is quarantine. If something happens, again, here in Richland County, we're in purple, but they have decided they are going to practice and they are going to play. And let me tell you, last week's win over Lima Senior with limited practice, which is even more amazing. And again, you never know this year. The thing that can knock out Shelby, in my mind, would be COVID. Ontario's good, River Valley is good, but I think Shelby is at a different level.
So now let me ask you this. Do you think coaches are selling their kids on that?
Well,
especially if you're down in the standings, we still have something to play for because you never know what can happen.
Well, the one nice thing about high school basketball, everybody makes the tournament. So yeah, you play number one because you love the game, and you play number two because you're a competitor. But you also play, hey, down the road we want to get a better tournament crawl. We want to, the better seed we get, the easier path we're going to have.
Marion Pleasant comes out and gets a turnover. So now with an opportunity to chip into a 7-point deficit. Nice strong move with the right hand and an opportunity for the three-point play as Caden Ralston goes to the line.
That was a nice move, and you as a defender, you can't let a guy right-handed go to the right. You've got to force him back to his left. Somehow you got to get in front of him. And again, remember we talked about in the first half, Clear Fork did a great job of giving help. Well, it's tough to give help when a guy goes downhill from the top of the key. And he made the turn, went downhill. It's tough to give help that way.
Ralston converts on the three-point play.
And we're back to a 4-point game. And again, both teams, Clear Fork the last two games, especially for them, has had some bad quarters.
Caden Riddle now with 3 personals, so he has 3, and Ben Blueball has 3.
Coach Bechtel didn't talk about that at halftime. He doesn't want to put that in their minds, about bad quarters. But, these kids are smart. They know they've had some tough times in games.
Another turnover. And converting at the other end is Jake Williams, the big junior, and it's now a 2-point ball game. Tedrow. I don't know if Burkholder was looking for the basketball. Ball's going to stay at this end of the floor.
But you can see as soon as Burkholder got the ball inside, the active hands from Marion Pleasant. After you create a turnover, and here they create 2 turnovers, now they're a little bit quicker on their feet. Now they're looking for those turnovers.
Victor Skoog with his first bucket of the night. And that pushes the lead back to 4.
And that helps to stop the bleeding right here. Maybe that will settle Clear Fork down a little bit.
See a little bit of almost an edge to the Spartans here as they start the third quarter. Ball blocked by Burkholder.
And you've talked about it quite a bit about confidence, especially for young kids. And when you come out and you create some turnovers, get some quick baskets, they have a little bit of confidence right now.
Got a little mismatch there inside, and able to capitalize is Peyton Gosnell. And back to a 2-point game.
You don't expect that from a 6-footer, but he did do a good job using his strength. Look at the pressure they're putting on now. They're going after the basketball.
Wide open 3 in the air, and you almost get the feeling they're going to give up the perimeter shot. They know that the Colts struggle from the outside.
And again, the first half didn't prove that they can knock down that shot consistently. So a good idea if they can get this tempo high, again, maybe outside of Clear Fork's comfort level.
Jake Williams misfires from 3-point range, and the ball goes back to the Colts.
Again, in the last 2 games for Clear Fork, Ontario with a 3-quarters court pressure, able to speed Clear Fork up. Ashland doing some trapping in the second half, able to speed Clear Fork up. Right now, Marion Pleasant certainly is speeding them up, forcing them to shoot quickly, and again, forcing that or letting them have that 3-point shot, and Clear Fork is settling for it. When both of us talked to Coach Bechtel before the game, he talked about, we'll run up the court, but when we get to the half court, we want to show good patience. Good patience, good discipline.
3 in the air, and that's a huge shot for the Colts.
And that is the best 3-point shot. Inside-out pass. That's how you do it in practice. Usually you have a coach underneath feeding you from under the basket. That's the easiest 3-point shot when the ball goes into the post and you throw it right back out to a guy.
Well,
when it goes guard to guard, it's a little bit tougher.
Foul inside as Gosnell was trying to connect, and he's going to go to the line.
kind of looks like Marion Pleasant is at halftime maybe talked about, let's just feed the ball inside. Let's get Gosnell inside. Let's feed him and let him go one-on-one.
Gosnell now 4 for 5 from the line. He's got 10 on the night, and he'll try to make it a 4-point ball game. We take a look at Centerburg and Cardington. Centerburg with an 11-point lead.
I believe Centerburg's undefeated at this time. They have a pretty good basketball team. Big showdown with Fredericktown coming up. I believe they're undefeated also. That should be a good game.
And Gosnell makes it a 3-point ball game. So the Spartans are not going away here in the third quarter.
No, they're not. And you can see where they're going to pick the ball up here full court, put it on the pressure. And again, even if you don't create a turnover, if you can force Clear Fork to be a little bit up-tempo, get them out of their comfort level, take shots that they don't want to take, you've done your job. That was a tough shot. I don't know if Jared Scott can hit that shot consistently, but I think if you're Marion Pleasant, you're saying, hey, we want to force a fade away from 10, 12, 15 feet.
Spartans with an opportunity to tie it here with a 3.
Inside out.
We talked so much about passing and putting the ball where a shooter can do something with it. There, he had to reach down and grab the ball at his knees, and by the time he got in the shooting position, it gave the defender an opportunity to block the ball out of bounds.
You're right. You talk as a coach all the time about on time, on target. The good ones can feed you right where you want it at the right time, where you just have to catch, load, and shoot.
3 in the air, misfired, and the Spartans miss an opportunity to either draw it within 1 or tie the ball game.
And here comes that pressure.
And Scott misses a layup. Kind of grabbing his left
looks like
thigh.
he hurt himself a little bit going up. But Clear Fork did a great job of breaking the pressure.
3 in the air, doesn't go. Burkholder with the backside board.
I think Clear Fork's doing a good job right here bringing Merritt out a little bit. He can look over the trap. So if you're going to trap a big guy, you better really get into his body and take away his vision. And it's tough when you have a guy 6'5" when you're only 6 foot.
And Tedrow is able to connect it. He'll go to the line looking for 3. Fouls on Jake Williams. That's his 3rd. So he's got to come out.
And isn't Jake the player that only has 3 games, I believe, left because he lives outside the district but transferred in? So that's tough. But he is a junior, so he'll be back.
Tedrow converts on the 3-point play, and it pushes the lead back to 6.
And Clear Fork's going to put a little pressure themselves. They did a good job with the pressure in the first half.
And they get the 10-second count.
Good defense. I think, I don't know if they surprised Marion Pleasant, but good call by Coach Bechtel. Hey, pressure has been affecting you. Let's go back to the pressure that was effective for you, especially in the first quarter.
Well, when you talk about controlling tempo when you press, you either want to speed them up or you want to really slow them down like you did on that possession. Tedrow makes that look easy as he sails in for an open look, and now the lead is back to 8.
And 2 moves with his right hand strong to the basket. You got to take away that right hand.
Yeah, I'm going to guess the scouting report says force him left.
I would think so.
And they're not doing that.
No. And I would think the scouting report is don't let these guys drive. Make them shoot outside. But then again, they shot well against Ontario early outside.
And Tedrow sprints out. He's making it look easy now. Tedrow's taking this team on his shoulders to lead back to 10.
And Tedrow, is that 6 straight points for him?
There you watch him just go coast to coast. Doesn't matter if there's a defender there. Nice. It's now a 10-point ball game. Brian Harter, Gregg Collins from the Colt Corral And the Spartans got to within 3 here in the third quarter, but the lead now back out to 10.
And you wonder, you made the comment before the game again about the legs for Marion Pleasant. They came out this half and put a lot more pressure on Clear Fork, caused some turnovers. You know, are their legs getting a little bit heavy right now? You know, I know they're young kids, but again, limited practice time. Very well that could be. Or is it Clear Fork just doing a better job of attacking? Certainly they are doing a better job of attacking. And, of course, Tedrow taking the ball strong to the basket.
Well, I was going to say, and Brady Tedrow is just a pretty good basketball player. You did such a nice job of breaking that down. Tedrow's pretty good.
Well, if you remember a point guard named Spud Webb.
He could break down a defense.
Yeah. I remember one coach asking his college coach what they did for a press breaker, and they said they gave the ball to him and told everybody to get out of the way.
5-3, if I recall.
Oh, yeah.
Nice look inside the blue ball.
That was a beautiful pass.
Blue ball now playing with 3 personals, and it's nice to see him get his 4th points of the night.
Here's good help inside again, but when you help from the backside, you're getting up the open 3, but Pleasant's not able to connect on it.
Tedrow clears the miss and pushes the other way. And they're going to call a block. Foul is going to be called. There you see the nice pass on the possession before.
That was a nice pass inside. Nice post entry, nice roll. Back to Brady Tedrow, though. He, coast to coast, is tough. I know you talk about, you know, Brian, you made the comment, Sky Report probably says force left. But I could see the kids saying, yeah, easier said than done. Yep. You know, he's going so hard, coast to coast, and he's a big kid. That's not easy to do.
And you hear this term, but he has that high motor.
He does.
Just goes so fast, and he now has – he would have had 21, but he has to settle for 20. As we're under a minute to go in the third.
And as you always talk about confidence, I have a feeling his confidence getting the ball to the basket is pretty strong right now. Again, a blow-by from the top of the key. It's tough to give help that way. He's able to get to the basket. Now if you're Clear Fork with under 40 seconds to go, do you hold the ball for the last shot?
Pounded inside, there's that kick out and an open 3, but again he had to reach for it. And the Spartans with an opportunity to chip away at this lead before the end of the quarter.
Being down 11, they need a shot right here. They need to score.
Gosnell runs the offense and puts up a tough runner on the baseline that doesn't go. And that's going to do it as we head to the fourth quarter. The Colts with a 45-34 lead. You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. Call today and schedule your first session. First in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.Report.
We are back here at the Corrals. We'll take a look at the fan zone. See some people down. It looks like they're at. Well, now the screen went black. There we go. Fans getting an opportunity to take a look at our game tonight. There's Nick Jacobs. Guy looks vaguely familiar. I've yet to see the Gregg Collins look in. Colts with an 11-point lead as we start the fourth quarter, and there's going to be a foul on the ball. That's going to be called on Austin Schaefer.
Well, before the game, Coach Bechtel talked about wanting to play 32 minutes, being able to put 32 minutes together. Well, they've put a good 24 right now. They're at their average. Right now, they're 45 points. They average 45 points. They're going to surpass that. This might be one of their more complete games that Clear Fork has played. Let's hope that they, I didn't put the jinx on the fourth quarter for Clear Fork, for my Clear Fork friends.
You just got a stern look from the official scorer.
Well, they used to be friends.
I think you're going to get sent to your room.
Yeah, well. Won't be the first time.
Trying to go inside on Caden Riddle. And Riddle's going to go to the line.
His first team fifth.
Just remember, he said it. I didn't say it.
I'm always putting my foot in my mouth somehow.
Riddle converts on the first one. He now has 3 points on the night.
And when you go into a quarter with a 12-point lead, you kind of think that free throw shooting is going to be important here for the fourth quarter. That's only 5 team fouls on Marion Pleasant. But they're going to get to the free throw line. They're going to be aggressive with their hands, trying to get loose basketballs, and they're going to create some fouls.
Nice look inside, but a tough angle on the shot. Jake Williams unable to convert. And another wide open three. And another miss from the outside for Clear Fork.
And I know Luke Labaki can knock down that shot. He's just having a tough game tonight.
There's a little bit of contact on this play. Watch.
And he takes it in strong, able to get the ball up, so he's going to go to the free throw line.
Foul called on Labaki. That's his second.
What I was saying before is just the opposite now for Marion Pleasant. They want to go to the free throw line. They want to score points with the clock stopped. So if they can be aggressive with the basketball, get some free throws, even though that's only the third team foul, if they can be aggressive and maybe get some shooting fouls and go to the line and shoot free throws while the clock stopped.
Now there is a question about one of the players that's on the floor for Pleasant is one of their JV players, and they're trying to determine if he had too many minutes or too many quarters. You're allowed to play a certain number of quarters per night.
I believe it's still 5, isn't it?
What number is it? 13. It's number 3 is JV.
And the player in question is Wiley Smith, the freshman.
That means he's got another quarter?
So the official says that they're trying to find the JV book to determine if that young man, Wiley Smith, can come into the ball game. And Coach Knively said that's why he was saving him for the fourth quarter.
That's a quarter. He's in. Come on, son.
There we go. That's good news. He gets to play.
So Wiley Smith, the freshman, checks back into the lineup. He's already got 3 points tonight, has handled the ball very well on the perimeter.
He's got a nice looking shot.
Very confident shooter.
Yes.
And he also had the privilege of getting bowled over by Caden Riddle, who is a foot taller and a few pounds heavier. That's what you call taking one for the team.
Exactly. $11-point lead for Clear Fork. They can be patient with the basketball. You don't want to hold the ball, but you certainly want to get a good shot each time down. There's a good look.
And blue ball is going to go to the line.
And that was a nice post entry by Caden Riddle.
Blue ball with 3 fouls has not been much of a factor in the second and third quarters. is at the line with 4 points.
And if you're Clear Fork, you're going to be at the free throw line the rest of the night. That's 16 fouls. So you want to be able to convert down here and get some freebies.
They were 7 of 9 before that attempt and that miss by Blue Ball. Blue Ball in the season about a 67% free throw shooting.
Ben is the only player that scored in the fourth quarter against Ontario, scoring those 2 free throws in the closing minutes.
They're going to call a foul on Brady Tedrow.
Now, if you're Clear Fork, that's not terrible. You still want your kids to play hard. You want them to play aggressively, and that's only 4 team fouls. You certainly don't want to tell your kids, hey, get back on your heels, don't foul. You want them to play aggressive right now. And
foul was actually on 35, not 45. That's Jared Scott. That's his second. So Tedrow still without a foul. Ball out of bounds, and it will go to the Colts. See the frustration on the face of Grant Cancer as he comes out of the ball game. Low pass, and Tedrow loses it.
Again, trapping. It looked like Marion Pleasant wants to trap now in the full court, cause some turnovers.
Off balance, shot doesn't go, and it cleared off the glass by Burkholder. Nice pass in transition, and a nice follow by Blue Ball.
That was a good transition. That was a good diagonal pass.
We had the perfect angle of that here at the scorer's table. Let's take a look at that. There you see it. Threads the needle, kind of bobbles it, gets a shot off, but Blue Ball's there to clean it up. Caden Ralston at the line. Ralston with 7 points and a timeout taken by the Colts. Of course, the Clear Fork Colts basketball fans remember that special season back in 2002 when they won their state championship. They were coached by Kevin Logston. They defeated Bishop Reedy 54-51. I remember watching that game on television, and Bishop Reedy was trying to make a comeback there at the end of the game, and you just kept wanting that clock to just, you wanted it to just tick and tick and tick and tick, and they finally were able to get that state title. Mark Delaney scored 16 points that day. Brendan Bartram scored 13. They finished the season 25-2. One of 2 state titles down here at Clear Fork. The baseball team, they won a state championship back in 2010. And this school really relishing that history and that past that they have on both the baseball programs and the basketball programs.
Exactly. But those programs are doing well, and they've had 2 state championships, but their other teams have been very, very succsuccessful.
Yeah, their football program's okay.
Yeah, I think so. But their girls basketball program has had some great seasons. I've admired how Clear Fork has done so well in so many sports. Obviously, it's important, which I agree with. I think athletics is important for kids, especially at the high school level, and you can see that here in the Valley, they take it seriously.
Well, and they also have very good feeder programs down here. The youth,
that makes a difference.
They look at the success that the high school has done, and these kids want to be a part of that. They want to come in 4 or 5 years when they're in high school and be a part of something like that.
And that is so very important. And when you have a feeder system like that, that's every school wants to have something like that.
Blue Ball just inside the free throw line, and he's getting hot here in the fourth quarter. He's now got 8.
He is. He was a little slow coming to the party, but once he got here, he's been active.
Well, a 3 in the air and another timeout. This taken by Gosnell.
And I think Coach Snively is thinking right here, hey, the lead is 10, 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes to go. If we're going to make a move, it's going to have to be right now. we're going to have to do something, whether it's better trapping in the full court, whether it's trapping in the half court, whether it's knocking down shots. But these next 2 minutes is going to be important. It seems like every time Pleasant gets the deficit to maybe 7, Clear Fork makes a little run of their own to get it back to a comfortable 12 or 13.
Peyton Gosnell has really picked up the scoring slack here for the Spartans. He's now got 16 on the night. They come back a little bit of full court pressure.
Just man-to-man, it looked like he was looking over to see if there was a trapper coming or maybe a ball screen. Here comes the ball screen.
Foul's going to be called on C.J. Temple.
And that should go to the free throw line. As we talked earlier, it's going to be a quarter where Clear Fork's probably going to go to the line a little bit. So converting these free throws is ultra important.
First attempt on the night for Luke Labaki. Senior guard.
For the Spartans, number 33, Lichtenberg.
First 2 games that he played this season, he did not attempt a free throw. That's a big make right there. Pushing the lead back to 11.
Again, Ontario's started the game with Clear Fork playing off the players. So it's tough to go to the free throw line if you're going to live and die from the three-point line.
Well, there you saw Lichtenberger think about the 3.
They're going to have to knock, if they're going to get back into it, they're going to have to convert on some of these
And
threes.
there's one of them. Doesn't go. Backside rebound and Labaki.
Good check out by Labaki.
Nice look, nice kick out, and Labaki converts on the 3. That's his 2nd of the night.
And again, an inside-out pass, that's the one you practice. Good look, and even though he missed his last couple, still had the confidence to shoot it.
And if this is on blue ball, that's going to be his 4th.
Clear Fork, number 3.
Yep.
And you can see he's frustrated.
It's
Just been one of those nights for him.
Gosnell at the line. Shoot 2.
You can see, and Coach Bechtel made the comment before the game, when he can get 5, 6, 7 players all putting in great performances one night, good performances one night, they're a very good basketball team.
Gosnell connects on them both.
But I say to Coach Bechtel, when you're dealing with high school kids, good luck.
Gosnell now with 18. But unfortunately, not a lot of offense for Ben Snively coming from anyone else.
Good job handling the pressure.
And a good job in transition, but a missed layup.
They've had a couple of those tonight where they've done a great job handling the pressure, but just not able to convert at the other end.
Smith with a long 3. And Labaki with an off-balance shot at the other end that doesn't go.
And that's one of the, I think Luke took it into the body, but I think he was more concerned. It looked like he was more concerned with the maybe getting the foul than he was about finishing.
Off-balance try by Austin Schaefer, doesn't fall. And it goes out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover, and the Spartans will get the ball back with 3 minutes to go. Peyton Gosnell off the bench after a short break. C.J. Temple checks back in as well. Tough drive and a nice finish by Caden Ralston.
That was a good drive. Just too few and far between for them tonight.
Ralston now in double figures with 11, and the Spartans push after the turnover. Smith on the floor and able to get the big guy out of the way, but he can't finish. Nice touch pass and a foul on the backside.
But did you see the freshman he drove? Merritt did a great job of coming over and helping, so the freshman it was pretty smart. He pulled up and stopped, but as soon as Merritt left, he went back up and shot the basketball, but then kept it alive. I know he knew he couldn't get the offensive rebound, but kept it alive with his hand, and here the result, Pleasant goes to the line shooting a one-on-one.
Tedrow with the personal, that's his first. C.J. Temple looking to make it an 8-point ball game.
They still have time to make a run. They're going to have to create some more turnovers.
Clear Fork can be now very patient offensively. Take care of the basketball.
See any on-ball screen, it looks like Pleasant's coming up and trying to trap and get into the passing lanes right away. And you're right, Clear Fork's going to be very patient, and they've handled the ball pretty well tonight.
Got a whistle, and this is going to be called, it looks like, on Temple. Yep, that'll be his third.
Fouls on number 15, C.J. Temple, his third, teammate.
So Clear Fork back to the line, shooting a 1-and-1, and that will be Jared Scott, his first trip to the stripe.
2 minutes left. The game's not over yet. Jared needs to knock down these free throws.
For the Spartans, number 33.
Limited opportunities, only 1 for 2 from the line. In the first couple games he played this season, there he converts his first try tonight. He's now in double figures with 10.
Number 3, Ben Blueball.
And Ben Blueball with 4 fouls checks back in.
It's nice to get bring the senior back in the closing 2 minutes. He's been here before, I'm sure, and even though he has 4 fouls, might as well get him in the game and help him control the tempo.
Now the 3 that doesn't fall, and a foul on the offensive rebound. And that's on Blueball, and he's done.
You can just tell him walking to the bench. He just knows he wasn't able to give a great performance tonight. His standards, because his standards, he's a very good basketball player. And, a little bit of frustration, though. I'm sure he's happy the team is up by 10, but he wish he contributed his normal way.
Jake Williams at the line with 4. It's the miss, but he gets an offensive rebound. So he gets to pad his rebounding stats there, and he's now got 6 points.
And again, the lead's down to 8, so if you can get a turnover right here, you got to gamble a little bit. Oh, that is a travel.
Yep.
Yeah, he took off, so you got the turnover you wanted. Now, can you convert down here at the offensive end?
Timeout taken. And the Colts it doesn't seem like they've really been able to just deliver the knockout punch just yet.
Exactly. And, we mentioned that. Every time the league gets down to 7 or 8, and I believe at one time Pleasant had the lead down to 6 and the basketball. And I think that's when Brady Tedrow took over maybe.
Well, right at the beginning of the third quarter, they actually got down to 3.
Down to 3, okay. And Clear Fork has responded each time. So you're right. Here's one last shot. Minute 30 to go. Again, Clear Fork is their history this year is they can turn the ball over. So if Pleasant can convert here, a 2, a 3 would be great, and create some turnovers, hey, they're still in it. Unfortunately, though, if they're fouling, Clear Fork's going to go to the free throw line.
There's Coach Bechtel trying to get his second win of the early season. They would be 2-3 and 2-2 in the MOAC if they can finish this off here tonight.
We'll see what Pleasant has set up here. I'm sure it's for a relatively quick shot. We'll see if it's a three, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a shot for their freshman. He's a darn good shooter.
Well, it's not going to matter because it's a turnover. And Jared Scott, it wasn't pretty, but he finished.
Exactly. The thing is, he was also in position that if he missed that tough layup, he'd have been there for the offensive board.
Spartans just really struggling to get off a good look.
Clear Fork doing a good job of pressuring, not allowing the three. They're going to make them drive, put up a two, but they're not going to let, well, here they have a long three.
The rebound falls into the hands of Merritt Bergholder, and we're under a minute now, and the lead is 10.
And another diagonal look inside to Lebaki, but Luke mishandles the basketball.
Three in the air, long three in the air. But they keep the possession alive, but there's too much time now going off the clock. Smith misfires from the outside. It comes down to Jared Scott, and they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Marion Pleasant.
You know, Brian, it's a 10-point game, 20 seconds left. Yeah, the game is over. But what I like is Marion Pleasant, again, they're playing, their third game in 4 days, 5 days. They're not giving up. They're going to play to the very end. They're playing hard. They weren't able to get the turnover. They weren't able to knock down those shots, but they're not giving up. That's a great compliment to the coach, to the players.
Make some changes in the lineup with 22 seconds to go. And again, the Colts just denying really any good look at the basket there, a misfire. And the Colts are going to get that second win of the year as they defeat the Spartans of Marion Pleasant 59-49. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You've been watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report.
Much appreciated in keeping our facility.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.Report.
James One Incorporated, providing innovative workshops and training for school districts throughout Ohio. We specialize in the areas of cultural awareness and sensitivity, reaching the unreachable student, dangers of teen substance abuse, and more. We offer relevant workshops for coaches and student athletes, and with virtual options available for all trainings, call today and schedule your first session. James One Incorporated, first in promoting excellence through quality professional development.
You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report. We are the future of local sports. Now back to your game.
Congratulations to Brady Tedrow, our player of the game, 20 points tonight, and allowing Clear Fork to come away with a 59-49 win. You guys had a very tough loss against Ontario last weekend. What was the mindset of you guys coming into tonight and knowing that you had a Marion Pleasant team that was not going to be an easy out?
Our mindset was we just had to play 4 quarters. We held Ontario through 3, and we had the 10-point lead going into the 4th, and just executing at the end of the game, and we did that tonight.
And you've also been able to pick up a lot of the scoring slack that this team has really needed from you this year. Do you feel that is something that's expected of you, or are you just getting opportunities and taking advantage of them?
I feel like it was kind of expected. We lost our main scorer last year, and I know Coach, he wants us all to chip in, but I look to help our team on the offensive end quite a bit more this year.
Ben Bluebaugh had to be very frustrated, got in foul trouble early, then in the second half really started to contribute at the offensive end, but then wasn't able to finish the ball game. It had to be a tough night for him.
Yeah, Ben's been playing really well, I think, over the past few games, and especially not having played last year due to a sickness, and he's really chipping in a lot, and he's a major part of this team.
Aside from the offense that they got from you tonight, it looked like collectively, defensively, you guys really had some key stops when you had to get them.
Yeah, a lot of our stops on the defensive end led to a lot of the offensive points, and that's something that we're going to look to do this year a lot.
Well, congratulations on the big win. You guys are now 2-2 in the conference, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach Collins right after this. You've been watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH.Report. Clear Fork with a solid first quarter, and they were able to maintain things as the game went along. They were able to get some key defensive stops, and they come away with a 59-49 win over Marion Pleasant. And as we take a look at the final numbers, Pleasant made a game of it in the second half, especially when you look at they made 16 trips to the free throw line.
Well, they did, and that's one way you can get back in the basketball game is go to the free throw line when the clock stopped. If you can convert some freebies, that's going to help you get back into it. But it just seemed every time they got the lead down to 7. Now, you mentioned they got it to 3 early in the third quarter, and our player of the game, Brady Tedrow, kind of took over maybe at that time. But after that, every time they would get the lead down to 7, Clear Fork would respond, would answer, which is a sign of a good basketball team when you can limit the runs of your opponent.
Marion Pleasant did a better job of taking care of the basketball in the second half. They had 15 turnovers on the night. Clear Fork did a really good job with only 8 turnovers on the night. They did have one player foul out of the ball game, Ben Bluebaugh, so they had 13 team fouls overall to 9 for Marion Pleasant. You see the 20 field goals, only 3 from beyond the three-point line. If there's one thing I think that Coach Bechtel would like to see this team improve on as the season goes on, it's perimeter shooting.
No question. I mean, they showed tonight that they can pound the ball inside. They pass the ball extremely well. They have to do a better job of finishing, but it's even going to be easier inside if you can create and develop some perimeter shooting, and they just have not done that consistently enough this year.
Brady Tedrow led the way with 20. Jared Scott chipped in with 13, and for Marion Pleasant, Peyton Gosnell had 18 points. and they fall tonight, does Marion Pleasant, 59-49. With the win, Clear Fork is now 2-3 overall. They're 2-2 in the MOAC, and Marion Pleasant drops to 2-7. They are 0-4 in conference play. The final score tonight, Clear Fork 59 and Marion Pleasant 49. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, and the fine camera work was courtesy of Nick Jacobs and Mason Neese. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Clear Fork 59 and Marion Pleasant 49. You've been watching high school basketball live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all this possible. Keep it locked into the OH Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Gregg Collins, I'm Brian Harter. So long from Clear Fork.